can't wait to see what the next one's gonna bring.
Road Warrior Drake! I said Road Warrior Drake! Dope comic book, dope series on DH1 TV Network.
This is my first comic I bought in like years.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is yours truly, Alberto Martinez, CEO of Alive by Film and Comics, writer, author, illustrator of Street Champion Roadwarrior Drake, my first graphic novel, with another old versus new toy review. If you want to check out my past old versus new toy reviews, you can go to the link description of this video and look at the playlist where I have toy reviews from 2012 and some I've been doing for the last couple years. So I want to do more of these comparison videos because they're fun to do. And, it gives you an idea of the history behind these figures. So, at least from my perspective, you're looking at Rodan. This is Neca's Rodan right here. This was the figure that I wanted Neca to make so badly. Next to Godzilla was Rodan. And we're going to take a look at the sculpting. We're going to take a look at the comparison with the older Rodan figure, which I'll show in a second. But what is my overall review of this figure? So, overall, I'm disappointed with this figure. First, before I say anything, this figure comes with the diorama of the volcano from which Rodan erupts from Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's got a removable smoke thing, and then you attach it here, and it's got it has the stand with which you put Rodan on, and if you see the picture right here from the NECA box, that's how it's supposed to look. But quite frankly, though, I mean, I guess it's good for a diorama, but honestly, it doesn't have much real value to it, in my opinion. So, not necessarily the best thing to come out of NECA in terms of accessories. But the sculpting of the Rodan figure is actually pretty good. It is one of NECA's best sculpting. You can see the details in the wing. The wings, they unfold, so it's got a ginormous wingspan, and the claws are also, they're posable too, so the sculpting is pretty good. The head sculpting is not bad. It actually conveys the look of the Samurai of the Sky Rodan, so it's got pretty good head sculpting. Now, my only complaint is that NECA produced a separate head for Rodan. It's the open mouth, with which you take the head off and replace it with the open mouth one. This, to me, is one of the dumbest things that not just NECA, but a lot of the toy manufacturers that are doing. They're inserting separate heads, separate hands for the figures they just put on, instead of making these body parts posable. It's a waste, because the figures aren't independent. No, they gotta be dependent upon these small little feature accessories like the open mouth, or different hands, what have you. I really hate this about the Rodan figure in NECA. I hate that you have to switch heads to get an open mouth. It sucks, because I really don't like going back and forth in terms of having to have my Rodan be displayed and have him deliver separate expressions and emotions. I'm very disappointed with NECA on that one. What also disappoints me about the NECA figure is the size ratio to Godzilla. Now, I know this is the 62 Godzilla, but in the Godzilla line, all the figures are about the same size, so it still stands with what I'm about to say. But compare Rodan's size to Godzilla. Look how tiny he is. It really disappointing that NECA would create Rodan this small. I remember the scene where he went up against Ghidorah, and he seemed pretty sizable compared to Ghidorah. Here, however, he's very tiny compared to Godzilla. Now, yeah, I guess it's made up by the fact that he has this massive wingspan, but he just looks tiny here. The body wise, it doesn't remind me of the original Rodan, where he stood pretty much on par with Godzilla, maybe even a little taller because of his neck size. But the size is just to me very disappointing. Not very particularly pleased with the ratio of Rodan, in spite of the fact that it's a well sculpted figure. But it doesn't. It's like a midget fighting a sumo wrestler. It's like it's not. There's no real I really And again, the wingspan is impressive, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't say samurai of the sky when you compare him to a beast like Godzilla. It's just this was like to me one of the biggest letdowns of the King of the Monsters line. Even in the film, how Rodan was portrayed in that film, like Rodan to me didn't get the justice he deserved. It needed a better figure. I think even the monster arts was about the same size, and I'm like, no, Rodan is to me is supposed to be about this big compared to Godzilla. Now we're talking about a real legit figure, but no, instead of being this size, he's this size. It's like a midget kind of. And now for the old versus new. Here is Bandai's Rodan. This is Rodan from 1992. I remember getting this guy. This is the third figure in the Bandai line that I got, and I was pleasantly surprised by him and how well he looked and how well he sculpted. It's based off the 1956 Rodan, the first Rodan movie that came out. You can see size wise, he's definitely in ratio with Godzilla. This is exactly how big Rodan is supposed to be in relation to Godzilla because of the neck. If you look at the neck of this guy, he's definitely taller. That makes him much taller than Godzilla. So it's definitely a size, a good ratio, good size comparison. This figure definitely conveys the samurai of the skies. This is what I'm talking about. Like if NECA had made their Rodan this size, this would have been a kick-ass figure. But he's not, and instead you have these discrepancies and these letdowns. So I'm left just saying to myself, what if NECA really made this guy about as big as him? I'm saying it would have been a real badass figure. Even the monster arts would have been good, but the monster arts kind of suffers from the same size ratio as well. This figure, it pretty much would be on par with the Revoltech monster arts from the earlier line because it's in that ratio. But not for these big size figures, and definitely not for the King of the Monster figures of the NECA line. So, very, very disappointed with how this figure is. Again, if you compare it to the Revoltech figures, he is on par with that. But then they already have a Rodan on that scale. This is a Revoltech Rodan. If you look at it compared to the monster arts, it's in this same ratio size. See, it's the same ratio. So the NECA, along with the monster arts sculpt of the King of the Monsters Rodan, would be in the same league, same ratio size with the Revoltech, aka monster arts figure. This Rodan's from the Revoltech line. You can see how well sculpted he is. This captures the 56 Rodan better than the Bandai 92, much better. And of course, this one has a movable mouth, so you can move his mouth without having to change his head. That's what I like about this Revoltech. It captures the samurai spirit of Rodan pretty good, very good actually. Right down to the hump in the back, which is this hump, by the way, which is also present in the 92 Bandai figure, is there because when the actor in the suit was simulating flight, there was a string attached on his back, so the puppeteers, the performers behind the scenes, when they lift the string and the actor would fly up in the air, that hump in the back would appear because of the harness that was there to lift the actor in the suit. So when you see these Rodan figures with the hump in the back, that's why. So it's there to convey an actual a feature in the suit when it was in flight mode in simulation. So the Revoltech has, the Bandai has it. So this man, I really wish that I can get a bigger version of this figure for the toy line that I had with the NECA Godzillas. But this is what I wanted NECA to make. I wanted him to make this type in a bigger scale, or at least keep this one, but make it in as big a scale as the NECA Godzillas. But they didn't do that. So my overall rating, to me, it left a lot to be desired. It had a good sculpt, and it was faithful to the how he looked in the movie, but the size ratio to me is just a big letdown. And I feel like this was like a blown opportunity by NECA, and I know that the license with Toho ran out, so they're no longer making these figures, which is a shame because I really wanted to see what they could have done with the Godzilla versus Kong line and what they could have done with like all these other monsters. Like I really think NECA would have blown it out the water if they were able to make their own, Showa Rodan or Showa Angulus or these other monsters that really deserve a comeback. in toy line. We'll never know. I did a review of my Playmates Kong from the Godzilla vs. Kong movie in my last toy review video, and I show a little bit of the Godzilla figure they did. And it's decent for what it is. Not bad, especially for the price tag. So is it possible Playmates could make their own line of Godzilla toys in that kind of quality? That remains to be seen. I know that they did a reissue of like the Bandai USA Godzilla figures, and they weren't that good. Their Space Godzilla figure was terrible. They had some really bad figures in that line, but I gave a review of the Kong figure. I thought the Kong figure was pretty good, and the Godzilla figure in that line wasn't bad either. So maybe Playmates will step it up. Maybe they'll do some really good figures. I don't think they'll do it in the same quality that Neca has done, but I judge each company and each figure on its own merits. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, more Godzilla figures will hit the market. We'll see more of the Showa figures and of the other monsters, but that remains to be seen. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the section below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out the playlist in the description for other toy reviews and other old versus new figures. This is your show, Roberto Martinez, CEO of Last Man from Comics, writer, author, illustrator, Street Champion Roadwarrior Drake. You guys will not be disappointed. I think it's going to be awesome. You're going to enjoy this book. I think you'll have fun reading it. So check it out. Sign up when it launches next week. And until then, I will talk to you guys soon. Take care and have a great rest of your day.